Hi everyone, my name is Mrs.Slocum. I'm a reading specialist in a kindergarten through third grade school in Northern California. And like many of you, I am out due to the coronavirus. We found out last night at the board meeting that students would not be at school today and teachers would be coming to prep materials for the students. And so I woke up thinking about what I could do to support that effort. And for a while now, I've been wanting to make some videos about reading and the science of reading and what I've been learning as a reading specialist because I think that this knowledge is really important, that all teachers should have it, and that if we can do what's right by kids early on in their educations, then we can really stop a lot of reading difficulties that happen with our older students. And I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about it, teaching students. So at this time that we are stuck at home, I thought it would be a perfect opportunity for me to learn how to do videos. So this is my first one as an introduction of who I am and why I wanted to start this series. So first of all, I taught elementary school for 11 years before I became a reading specialist. I began my career as a fifth grade teacher. Then I moved down to second grade where I taught for 4 years. Then I taught third grade for 1 year and fourth grade for 5 years. And I loved every single one of those experiences. I love to teach and I love kids. I chose to get my reading specialist credential because that's something that I've also loved. When I was in college, I got to work as a reading literacy tutor with a reading specialist at an elementary school. In fact, at the elementary school that I went to as a kid. And I loved that experience. It was very rewarding to work with the students who were struggling and see them progress. And so when the opportunity arose in my district for me to become a reading specialist, I had just finished my master's degree in curriculum and instruction, and it was just a perfect time for me to go move on and get my added reading authorization and jump right in to something that I love. And I truly do love it. So I've been doing the reading specialist job now for a year and a half. And so, kind of my story is I took all the classes that I needed to get my added authorization, but I was a little bit concerned because in all of those classes, I didn't learn hardly anything about dyslexia. And I thought, as a reading specialist, I need to know more about dyslexia because I'm going to be working with those students who are having reading difficulties, and I need to know how to help them. So I just started reading lots of books and I started watching some free webinars. And I've watched now a couple of webinars by Dr. Louisa Moats, who's a leading educator in dyslexia. And at the end of one of these webinars that I watched, they talked about the International Dyslexia Association. So I Googled them and I found their website, and up pops up an advertisement for their literacy conference, which was going to happen. It happened back in November, but I saw the ad like 2 weeks before it was going to start or it was going to happen, the conference. And I emailed my principal and I said, hey, I think this would be a really good thing for me to go to. Maybe not this year, maybe next year because it was so close. But to my happy surprise, she emailed back and said, I think we can make it work now. So I got tickets, we made it work, and I went to the literacy conference put on by the International Dyslexia Association. And this is where, for the first time, I started really learning about what is called the science of reading. And my head was like spinning. I got on Facebook like the night after the very first sessions and was just like, oh my gosh, everybody needs to know this. Every teacher in the country needs to know about the science of reading. I can't believe that I have taught for 11 years and I didn't know about the science of reading. I can't believe I went through a reading program and I had never heard of the science of reading. Um, and so it's just become my passion that we can help kids if we start in those foundational skills, giving all kids what science and research says works for teaching reading, we can really avoid a lot of problems later. Kids who are having struggles learning how to read. And so I can't wait to share with you my knowledge. I'm also going to be sharing some videos of actual like lessons that I do with my students so that I can post that on my school's website, and hopefully my students can watch those and practice those skills that we do every day in my groups. Um, so that's me. I hope that you'll get some really good information and be excited as I am to learn more about the science of reading.